Oh, nice. Oh. Do we move this over?
Um, yeah, so like it's just Christie and myself at the moment, so we'll give, just for the record, we'll give everybody
I guess.
you, until we get Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start the SWEET meeting today. And if we have any additional attendees, we'll of course, let them speak. But I'll, for now, it's just Adam Rickert, myself, with Monroe County MS4, Monroe County Highway Department Stormwater Program, and we have
Christy Lindbergh with City of Bloomington Utilities.
Thank you. So I'll just read through the agenda. We have MS4 meeting coming up next Monday and Tuesday, and it's going to be in Plainfield this year. So I'm going to attend, and Christy's going to attend. Do you want to speak anything?
Yeah, I was hoping there'd be more people here, but I think we already kind of
Yeah, we're.
talked about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then looks like this is previous suite agendas, this the Master Naturalist course, which is going through May 23rd of this year. So, and then for I'll just move on to agency and department updates. We have Friends of Lake Monroe, save the date with Sunday, September 17th. Talked to Kelsey and Maggie a little bit about that. Sounds like they're going to have a larger scale cleanup event.
And when again was that?
Sunday, September 17th. So it's not until the fall or close to the fall, but that should be a larger cleanup event. We're going to have additional volunteers and participation from other partners for protection of Lake Monroe. So
Good.
and of course they have information on their website about that. And then looks like they have a note about DNR, United States Forest Service, United States Army Corps of Engineers, Friends of Lake Monroe, and Lake Monroe Water Fund met in early April to begin planning a large cleanup event at the lake. Kind of the plan is full week activities between 10:16 and 10:22. Sunday 10:22 cleanup being the largest and potentially including a cookout. Pending funding, contact Maggie for further information. But that actually might be the date that I was speaking of ago. And
On the
then
22nd though of September or?
Sunday, October 22nd.
So there's going to be two?
Yeah, it sounds like there's going to be Lake Monroe Day. And then the cleanup event that I was speaking of with, the volunteers and participation from partners will be Sunday, October 22nd. So that looks like they're.
So the cleanup day is 10/22 and then
Lake Monroe Day is Sunday,
17.
September 17th, yes.
two different cleanups, but
Yeah, and actually, I probably clarified through their website whether Lake Monroe Day involves a cleanup. That's something. a little bit more.
right, yeah, that's what I was wondering too.
Okay, and then they, Friends of Lake Monroe has several events planned for April and May, kayak trips, hikes, shoreline cleanups. So check out Friends of Lake Monroe for further information on that. I don't see that Alicia with Solid Waste District is on a meeting today, but there's a note about they've hired a waste reduction specialist. Her name is Kaylee Strand, and she will be working with companies and other businesses to promote waste reduction. So that's all for that. And then for the Solid Waste District, City of Bloomington Parks and Recreation, I had an email from Rebecca that she wouldn't be able to attend the meeting today. And don't have any updates from Monroe County Parks and Rec. So Christie, would you like to talk about the Bloomington utilities?
Yeah, that's what I put on there.
This is hard to read.
Yeah, I did font what I expected.
Yeah, no real updates, just kind of the usual. Except for Adapt the Drain is getting more inquiries now that people are noticing the heavier and more frequent rainfall, which is good. We have two groups that I'm inducting this week. One is actually a neighborhood, Park Ridge East, and another is a school group. So yeah, pretty excited about that. And then this past Friday, we had our first ever Hidden River Pathway Project guided walking tour. Had 15 participants in that, and it went really well, especially considering it was our first one. We had originally planned it for Earth Week, but that had to be changed to last Friday. And it was probably for the better, good weather, and just a lot of energy downtown with graduation.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a problem. It was actually really kind of a fun and festive atmosphere.
Yeah.
People had a lot of good questions and a lot of good information. So we're going to be expanding it to the whole length. And we're also going to be putting a version of it online as a guided, or rather a individual walking tour, you know, one that you can do on your own.
Feature.
Yeah, exactly. Uh-huh. And also, we're talking about, let's see, what was I just gonna say? I forgot my train of thought. Well, expanding it and putting it online. Just including more information that came up along the way, kind of updating the existing materials and such, because it's just good to hear from the public and what they're interested in and what they want. So we're going to be incorporating all that in there. Besides that, we're still working on the storm drain marking program, landing page and landing page in relation to the postcard that you're waiting for the information on from the others.
Yeah, so I had a note to contact some people about that.
Right. Some gearing up for the summer, and other than that, things are pretty much the same, making a few changes to the residential stormwater grants program. And getting ready for doing more landscaper education and visits to neighborhoods to talk with them about what we can offer them regarding stormwater. And so many are noticing that there are changes going on with the weather and increased erosion and so on. So, yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. And I had a note, I know this looks like Martha or Hannah with Soil and Water is on the call, but for Earth Week, they dropped off some trees, which was nice, just to celebrate Earth Week. And I think that's as far as the Monroe County Stormwater Program Highway Department, we had a cleanup event not this last Saturday, but on April 29th on Clear Creek, and we had some participation from some of the neighborhood residents in that area. So we cleaned up both the trail and along private property after pinning property access agreements. So that went well, and I want to thank the solid waste district as well, as far as dropping off the debris that we collected. Collected about 4 tires and about a dozen bags of trash. And utilizing the solid waste district location was very helpful, so I appreciate coordinating with them. I think that's as far as the highway department, that's our major update. We are hiring some interns, or we have hired interns for this year, and they will start about May 15th. So looking forward to working with them. Looks like we have Tron just joined the meeting. And Tron, for this meeting, we just have Christy and myself,
I see.
PSD. So we basically just updated TSD. Since we have a recording of this, I wanted to make sure that we went through all the sections on the agenda, but does the surveyor's office have any updates you'd like to share?
No, I was trying to get out of my other meeting to make it here and kind of have dual meetings. The other one was a part of IGIC, the Indiana Geographic Information Council, which I think is relative to kind of some of our discussion here, with kind of some best practices and things with integrating GIS with kind of some stormwater or drainage management, or even just public outreach, BMPs, all sorts of different things that could be beneficial. Their annual conference is this week, and we just finished everything up. It is Wednesday. We have workshops where you get to, have some hands-on learning, and then the 10th and 10th is Wednesday. The 11th and 12th are our sessions where you can kind of go and glean some insight of what others are doing, but also get a sense of how to do it yourself. It's pretty cool, and I'm excited to be approaching the week of, because that's when everything is past you and we don't have to worry about a conference for a couple of months. But
Sure.
Registration's still open. You missed all of the early bird specials and things. I think they might do another email blast. We've been, working with the city GIS coordinator as much as the county GIS coordinator to put this on people's radar. So we leave it up to them to kind of send that to parties that might be interested. Outside of that, I will be going on a vacation on the 17th and won't be back until June. And I'm planning on not attending anything virtually. So my office will still be staffed. If you need anything, just kind of heads up. And I can't think of anything except for maybe the fact that it's the three of us here today. And what can we do to really turn this back into the sweet meeting that it used to be? And I think some comments that were made at our last month's was, getting these other groups back involved outside of the city and county. We used to have great representation from IU, SWCD. I think we even, Maggie from the Friends of Lake Monroe would show up occasionally, which was great. They just came to Stormwater to get some additional funds for a program that was successful last year to do this year. This is a great opportunity to spread the word to others that could kind of spread it more countywide. It's unfortunate that we don't even have those type of updates today. I was very adamant and supportive of their request at the Stormwater Board that we did approve, and it just gives me a pause to know that they're not taking every opportunity available to get the word out and promote those efforts. And that's what this group is really kind of here for, stormwater and educational environmental team, or is it environmental educational team? But either way, it's unfortunate. I'm sure there's more events just right around the corner, and we need to figure out how to re-strategize and rethink this to gain more participation across the board that we had years ago. And I don't know if that's doing away with the virtual component of attending. I think it's great for people that want to come and observe these and, watch them from afar. I'm not sure. I'm just kind of spitballing here, and I won't do too much of that to take your time, but we really need to kind of rethink how we can get these other MS4 communities back involved. I mean, the town of Ellettsville, there's another stakeholder that their presence was here and there. It wasn't anything like we used to have with IU and the city still is here, as you can see, but we need to rethink this a bit. I know that we use this as part of our educational pursuit with our audits. We recognize this as a component to that educational outreach, and we just need to really put some thought into how we can get some traction and really get people back here. I think we can't lose this opportunity, because I can't think of any other space where we get all of the MS4 communities here to talk about things, or other groups that are working with environmental protection. And it's unfortunate, and I'm really happy, and I really appreciate to see you two here today. And if I didn't have the other meeting, I would have trekked through the rain to be there in person with you today, but like I said, I just had a conflict in my own schedule. So that's really kind of my only kind of feedback right now, or comments. And it's not meant to be critical. I know everyone's probably busy right now, but
Yeah,
there's something missing, and I don't know how we can kind of.
Yeah, I think it's kind
Get
of endemic, around the world right now. Really, people just
Well,
kind of
it might
doing
be
their own thing.
that, and I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting, that's for sure. So I'll just kind of leave it there, but any type of recommendations or anything that you've thought of to really get other groups involved, I really would like to see the SWCD here occasionally, so we could ask questions and have conversations and share kind of what others are up to. It'd be really great to see IU back here, the town of Ellettsville. It'd be nice, but
I agree.
yeah, because we learn from what they've worked on, and everything that anybody does is not always like 100% success. So it's good to hear what they, not necessarily good, but it's helpful to learn what they struggled with and what went well. And so we can strategize for events that we do separately and together, that, I think as when we have more stakeholders present and we events together, we have more of an impact. And I think it's important to have a goal in mind that we're trying to make this accessible to the public, that we're trying to make what we work on as far as environmental education, stormwater education, a household name, like a household, like if you talk to practically any household, they would understand, or at least have some level of familiarity with what we're working on, that we're not just working in a vacuum. So
Right.
I appreciate your comments about the low attendance and how can we get back to where it's we're really coordinating with each other and learning from each other. I think we're missing out.
We're all missing out because of their lack of participation, I feel.
Yeah,
And if they're not one, if it's something that they just where they see their participation not increasing, that's one thing, but if it's just because they're not attending, that's another thing. And I guess, do we want to send a kind of a letter really kind of indicating this lack of attendance? I mean, I don't think we need to call people out, but I think
sure.
we need to express the value they bring and really try to encourage them to participate. I mean, it works for me. If I saw I was part of a group that had 10 meetings a year and I attended 2, trust me, that following year I tried to increase my attendance, or I would just basically say, hey, this isn't something I see myself, participating in moving forward. And if that's the case, then maybe there's someone else that will participate. But we haven't taken that type of approach of just kind of directly reaching out to folks and being like, this, your presence is very valuable. And, it'd be nice if we could get a sense if you plan on to attend moving forward, because if it's just the 3 of us every month, like, how much value are we building by meeting once a month?
Well, I think it's important still.
Yeah, I
But-
mean, I'm not gonna just go away, but I think we
Right.
need to figure out how to wrangle people back into this. And I think it's hit that time frame where we went through the pandemic, we changed our structure, we even created more of a way for them to self-manage kind of their comments and minutes, if you will. And now we're here where we're getting a lack of participation, and we need to identify why, or we just need people to kind of commit to what they're saying. And if they're going to say we're going to attend, then we send them a letter saying, hey, sorry we missed you, you're very valuable to this group, we need you to continue to participate, to make this successful, and to continue to identify aligned goals and initiatives where we could collaborate. And SWEET could serve as a conduit, for that type of collaboration. And maybe we just send a letter out to folks that haven't been here, in the last several months. Because, I don't want to waste anyone's time, but I do agree that just being here is very valuable, because we could continue to build back up to what we had, prior
Yeah.
to the pandemic. So
And
that's my only real comments. So sorry to kind of spitball or just kind of hash things out off the top of my head, but that's really the only thing I can think of that needs immediate attention with my involvement with SWEET. So,
yeah, and that's a good point, that a lot of these meetings are, we definitely talk about the events that we've completed and that are that we're working on, but there's also quite a bit of discussion on matters that aren't directly related to events. So maybe there's a misunderstanding as far as what type of meeting that we have. I would like for it to be like you said, when people attend, they bring value to the meeting, they share their perspectives, and that we learn from what they work on. But maybe that's part of the letter, is that I don't necessarily want it to just be where we go over events and plan. We're having discussions above and beyond that pertain to
What we've learned, well, we kind of need that for our reporting now too, starting this year.
well,
Yeah.
I'll just say kind of on something that might be not necessarily official record, but definitely will be recorded. If I'm sitting across somebody that is asking for collaborative or funding for their project, I will be very adamant with asking them to up their participation in the SWEET meetings moving
Yes.
forward. So that's for all the folks that come and ask for support. I'm gonna ask them what their feelings are about SWEET and how they see their ability to attend those, and kind of get some feedback from that area, and kind of reaffirm that I think it's very valuable to have people attend here. I won't be basing any of my decision off of their attendance, but I will be asking them about you know,
Yeah,
their
that's-
participation in things, because again, a little surprised that Maggie's not here talking about, you know, the support that they got from the Stormwater Management Board with kind of their goals with helping to serve folks in the Lake Monroe watershed with septic kind of flushing and evaluation. So it's like,
Right, and a little thank you maybe, or.
well, you know, I think one of the goals and one reason I'm very supportive is they take all these opportunities that are available to really get the word out. And, you know, this is one area where it take 15 minutes to attend, and you can even attend virtually to get the word out. And, you know, SWCD, when they come for the mini grants, you know, I'm going to make a point that, you know, I haven't seen you participate in a suite meeting, and it's another avenue to get the word out about these mini grants that we do a cooperative with, and help support and fund through the stormwater board. So again, I'm just going to say it here so people know that, you know, it will be a question I will be asking as I see these things come forward outside of the suite meeting, and knowing that they're not here promoting, you know, their efforts, you know, so that's
It's a missed opportunity. I mean, things that we work on, our partners, you know, doesn't happen this via email or a phone call, or, you know, we need to take this opportunity to share the experiences and successes and struggles that we worked on, so that we can just coordinate, you know, not just for events, but for, you know, like you mentioned, the different opportunities where, you know, private residents are able to benefit, you know, from the stormwater grants, or that other organizations are working on in terms of, you know, septic systems. I mean, that's really a valuable program, and if we can improve upon that, I mean, there's always an opportunity for improvement. So we should take this time to discuss those, you know, but above and beyond just events, and it should just be a sharing of ideas. So, and it's, I won't go on too much, but I think with the virtual component, we're creating more of an opportunity. I mean, we're making it as easy as possible for people to just jump on, like you mentioned. It might, maybe they have another meeting that is conflicting, but if they can just join for a few minutes, we'll definitely make accommodations so that they can share and discuss, and, you know, try to make this as flexible as possible. So I think your idea of just sending a letter, just to reaffirm, you know, how much value they bring to other organizations, and that, you know, we really appreciate their attendance and their input. Maybe that they just need a reminder. The other thing, I'll just wrap this up pretty quickly, but maybe we need to have a different location that has the capability of Zoom meeting. Maybe we move it out around to different offices, so that you know, people that are in those offices that have never attended a sleep meeting and can join, you know, at those locations, and we can learn from those people that haven't ever attended. So having, you know, food, you know, food that's available, just to encourage people, just to, you know, just doing small things might help with this. But yeah, I think we're getting to the point where we're really limited in terms of the value if we have this level of attendance.
right.
I just had a thought. What do you guys think about this? Maybe have a sweet retreat. Seriously, host a lunch here or something, and with an agenda, and, you know, get some ownership.
No, I think
You
that,
know?
I think that's a great idea. And it was kind of going along with mine, is where you get some ownerships, and
Yeah,
where like maybe we have each one of these groups, the city hosts a suite meeting in one of their facilities. IU hosts a suite meeting in one of their facilities, you know, the SWCD hosts a suite meeting in one of their facilities. And then, these ongoing stakeholders that we are working with currently, like the Friends of Lake Monroe, hosts something at their facility for a suite meeting. And then, kind of put them on the hook of kind of finding the spot and picking the date. And then we kind of, travel, 4 times a year or something like that to these like larger stakeholders. We could leave the friends out since that's kind of a nonprofit type thing, but like all of the MS4 communities we could target, right? So the town of Ellettsville, IU, city, county, that's 4 locations per year that we could try to have a on-site type of meeting, still have the virtual component, but then that's going to put some skin in the game on their end. And then we're focusing on their efforts and what they're doing. And then we, as the rest of the group, provide an update like we typically do, but we are putting, this idea of them creating a presentation on them at these facilities. I think that would be
I like it.
a idea. It might even take some work off of your shoulders, Adam, and really put it back into these other areas where we've had a lack of participation. The city, I don't want to say the city's been lacking, but I haven't seen IU here for a while, if we're just going to call a spade, and I haven't seen the town of Ellettsville here for a while. So outside of that, I do think we get continuous attendance from the city and the county, which is great. And I haven't seen SWCD here for a while. And I think that's more of an outlier since it's not really a nonprofit. So maybe we could put some hopes that they could facilitate a meeting as well.
Sure, and if they need help with the technical aspects, if their facilities aren't currently set up for host a Zoom meeting, we can work through that and ensure that that's not an issue moving forward. But I think that's are excellent ideas on how we can, just reinvigorate everybody so that we're sharing ideas. We're not, like I said, we're not just limiting to events. We're having discussions on matters that, and for our programs and, and like the people that work in those offices that maybe they've never heard of Suite, and we can invite them in and expand and get some momentum built from that. So thank you for going over this, because it's unfortunately it's the low participation is concerning.
Yeah, I don't want it to be a waste of any of our time. So,
Absolutely.
That's all I have.
Okay. I think since we don't have anybody from the public, we don't have any public input. I just want to mention one other thing. I now that we talked about this, for the Monroe County Highway Department Stormwater Program, I've been working with IDEM to get these signs for Lake Monroe at the docks, the boat ramps. So unfortunately, there's a little bit of delay on those signs, but
What signs?
they're for the Clean Boater Pledge program that IDEM has. And basically, if you sign up to this program, it's a voluntary program that they're promoting best management practices for boaters, that whether it's cleanouts or fishing line that you recycle, just to make sure that you have a trash container for your trash. If you invite a few other friends on your fishing adventure, you have a bag for trash.
Yeah.
So it's just a program just to encourage use of lakes in a responsible manner.
Nice.
With the signs, they should be available here in the next week or so, and I hope to install those and make those available at the 7 boat ramps that are in Monroe County. But I think that's all we have for this meeting. So thank you everyone for their participation and input. And I'm gonna start working on that letter so we can, see if we can encourage, more attendance moving forward.
Absolutely. I mean, anything I could do, let me know, Adam. You're doing a terrific job. We just need to kind of, I think, call people out at this point and encourage them to come, but do it in a way where we're building, the value, not the fact that
Yeah,
we're concerned of the attendance, but, I
We
don't want
value
this
their
to go deep.
participation.
Yeah, I don't want this to become defunct though because of attendance, but
Absolutely. So,
We
yeah,
could remind people that they are important,
yeah, absolutely.
take the high road, positive approach. Mhm.
Yeah, so I think we're, in the doldrums at the moment, but I think if we do a few things and, I'm open to suggestions. So if you think of something after the meeting, send me an email and try to incorporate that. So, we can be flexible with this.
all right. Well, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good week. Have a good time at the geographic conference. It's
I'll be taking off on Wednesday. So yeah. Geographic Information Council, GIS
Okay,
conference. Yeah.
okay.
It'll be fun. See ya. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.